Let's move
Okey
on.
doke. Let's move on. So, 2022 has been another interesting year. It seems like thank you for
Wah, wah.
the sound effects. And it seems like you're saying about creatively bankrupt. It seems like that's what Hollywood is. But there have been some gems. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about each month. And we found some little lists of things, of stuff that came out throughout the month and stuff. So, in January this year,
I hope you got the lists.
Yeah.
Good.
First of all, the only thing we're kind of big...
Hold on, Yoda, why did you just go all Joe Biden and start whispering?
I'm woefully unprepared for this.
Well, it's a good job there are some professionals here.
Yeah. Just like Joe Biden, I'm woefully unprepared for this job.
Now, the first movie that came out in sort of January, now all of you, I'm imagining, are going to go, which one? The 355, which had Sebastian Stan, Diane Kruger, and Jessica Chastain in. It was about a bunch of female superheroes.
And I'm sure you watched it because that ugly hatchet-faced bitch is in it.
Her deep set eyes and locked jaw.
I remember them talking about it now. I remember there was a lot of how bad it was and how it just didn't have any...
I have watched it, and I can't tell you a thing about it.
Yeah.
Nothing. There was some good
Why are we
fight
talking
sequences.
about it?
Move on.
I'm just saying.
Let's go.
No.
Come on,
Okay.
Come on. Let's hit it. Come on. Who cares? Let's go.
Okay, the next one then. The next sort of big... I mean, like I said, there's a load of films that have come out here, but there's a load of stuff that I don't even recognise. But the next big one that came out in January was then The Eternals.
Don't care.
Okay.
That was horrendous.
Man, the only thing I have to say about that is that we were still really in kind of lockdown. I mean, the theaters really... Yeah, because Eternals came out on... did that come out in January? Are you sure?
Yeah, January, yeah. Well, it says
that seems like it was 2 years ago to me. Yeah.
I was thinking it came out.
I remember January.
That was this year, wasn't it?
It seems like 12 months ago, but
I think it's funny that an MCU movie comes out in fuck you, it's January.
Yeah.
Which is generally the dumping ground. But I mean, given the quality of that movie, and I have to say, yeah, that probably deserved it.
The other one here going through this list, the other big one that came out was Scream.
Cecil liked it.
I know. Do you know what? I saw that on Twitter this week. Because I follow him on Twitter, and he said about he didn't mind Scream. Again, Scream. To me, all I remember about it is the end of Scream was exactly the same as end of Scream 1. And people have been going on about how Scream 6 is coming out, and they're really excited. And I'm really sort of, are they?
Scream 6. Oh, for God's sake!
Have we frozen?
No.
No,
sorry. No, it's me. Sorry. Scream is it's another one of those flogging a dead horse because they can't come up with anything original ideas.
Well, listen, it's no different than like the Friday the 13th series or something, right? You get sort of the same thing. You know how it's going to end every time, and there's a certain, its audience likes that. You know what I mean? It's fine.
I think there's a bit of a difference. There was like in the 80s, you'd be making these movies like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, or even like a Police Academy or something. They just kept making it during, until the well ran dry. But it all felt like it was all done fairly current, and then they all walked away, right? Yeah. Scream is like we shot our load in the 90s, right? With Scream, it was done. Move on. But no, then they come back, 20, 25, 30 years later and make these things. It's like, that's where I feel like what you're saying, Phil. It's like you're getting into these weird member-berry nonsense that just adds a layer of crap to it that I just don't want to see anymore.
Well, we're both right, but the fans that
will
go back, the one that goes, the people that keep going back to it and like it are the same kind of people that liked, a new Friday the 13th movie every year for 8 years. You know what I mean?
Because it kind of just takes away that specialness about it.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not making a case for it. I'm just telling you that's the fan base mindset for it.
And other things that came out in January, just to talk, because like I say, there was no other major movies, but Peacemaker came out in January on HBO Max, and some people have really rated that. I didn't even bother because I thought that John Cena's whatever he's called, Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad, I wasn't bothered. But did any of you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Nope.
Nope. I generally enjoyed the show, but I thought, and this is what, and I know we weren't going to talk about DC, but this makes me worry about DC is because James Gunn has like these jokes, and in a 8-episode series or whatever it was, these things just go too far, and it just got too much. Okay, he's in a giant squid monster and he's covered in goo. Oh, he loves that joke. He did it in Guardians. He did it in the Suicide Squad movie.
Are you saying James Gunn tells jokes that go too far?
Yeah, a little bit. I just.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to read one of these. Hang on.
Pull up his Twitter feed.
Is he at band again? I like Peacemaker for the most part. It did all right. It just went a little too James Gunnian in a few places, but I really worry about him trying to take on the top tier superheroes. I mean, you got to do Sincere with Superman, and I just don't think James Gunn does Sincere very well.
No, he doesn't.
He's like quirky, great. I mean, Guardians is great. Superman, I don't know.
One of the other TV series that came out in January, which I've never seen, but I know people rave about it, is that Euphoria. Again, anybody seen it?
No, I've heard it. No.
I haven't got enough tissues to watch it, so no.
It looks pretty amazing.
It's nothing about it that I just kind of interest me about it. As such,
it's not made for you, Phil. Do better.
Yeah.
The other thing that came out in January, and all of you were going to go, did they? Is How I Met Your Father, which was a gender swap on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't see that.
I'll send you the link.
I actually watched, I think I watched an episode or two of that and went, what the fuck, and walked away. And that was, that's all I remember.
I want you to know, and you too, Phil, that we have a very limited time on this earth. And how you spend that time is important. And spending it watching things like Avatar 2, How I Met Your Father, fucking Star Wars sequels is doing this to God, who gave you this.
Complaining 2 hours a week about movies on YouTube,
This is therapy.
No.
Wait.
You're back on now, are you?
Wait, no. You complain for 2 hours about movies on every week on YouTube. I spread racism and bigotry for 2 hours every week on Facebook. There's a difference.
Got a point.
It's therapy for all of us.
It's pretty subtle.
I'm red pilling people.
Yeah, sure you are.
You're complaining about Star Wars.
I branch out into other properties to complain about, I believe.
Let's have a look. Let's move on.
Before you move on to January, there's one at the end of last year that I only just now picked up on, but I got to admit is really, really good. And that's Arcane. It's on Netflix, 9-episode series.
Arcane?
Arcane. And it's like steampunk. It's CGI, but it's kind of got an anime look to it. But I'm shocked at how good it is. Really good.
Speaking of that, and I don't know if Phil will bring this up, but earlier this year, that Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix was excellent. Rated highest recommendation, 5 out of 5.
It's on my watch list.
Is it that good? I was gonna. I that's what I saw that, and I was like, there was something else that somebody mentioned. I think maybe the drinker or somebody, and did a little digging. Was Arcane. So I said, okay, I've been meaning to watch this. I started watching it, and yeah, it was as good as I expected it to be. So I'll give the Cyberpunk one.
The first 2 episodes are a little bit slow to set things up, but it becomes it's a masterclass for real.
What do you mean for real? Whenever I use the term, is for real. Okay, so let's move on to.
We know, Phil. Thank you for watching this excerpt from Outpost Frequencies. Tune in live every Sunday at noon Central Time or 6 o'clock UK time. And also, remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com for all your latest in movie news, streaming news, and everything cool about film. We are the cool news now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream.